folks. I'm going bald. Can't really see it here, but you can see it here. Anyway, playing Warframe. It's the Great Hunt. We are hunting the Sisters of Parvos. It's not exactly the most recent update to the game. Well, is it? I think it's the most recent overall update. We had Tenno-Con, but there wasn't actually anything too fancy going on there. But anyway, regardless, we're hunting the Sisters of Parvos. Sorry, just give me a moment. I'm making sure that everything on the stream is working properly. But we should be good. Got the link. I'm going to drop it in the appropriate location. And we're going to continue. So, Warframe. Isn't that exciting? Something I never do. Warframe? Yeah. But, if you've been here for more than, 2 years now? COVID has screwed up my measure of these things. You'll know that a lot of my videos are no longer on the channel. And I gotta restock. I gotta refill the backlog. There was like an 11-hour stream at one point. That's gone now. That was history right there. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. We are hunting the Sisters of Parvos for today's stream. I already have a backlog of them that I've finished, as is rather evident from the fact that I've got the ephemera from one of them. We'll take a look here in the universe and see. Here's some of the ones that I have vanquished. Here's the one that I presently have active. You may see, it may be apparent, that I am currently seeking one with cold, as the last two I vanquished are cold, and the one that I currently have active is cold, because I want the ephemera that comes from a cold sister. Unfortunately, my present one doesn't currently have the cold ephemera, so I'm going to have to spawn another. But let me show you the setup first and foremost. This is the Grand Inquisitor, by the way. He's very regal, very religious looking. The idea that I have behind my setup is that if this were some sort of storyline, Harrow here is the Grand Inquisitor. He's sent after the Sisters of Parvos as they spawn through the system. Well, he isn't sent. He is sending himself and his disciples. And his ultimate goal is their eradication. So it's the Inquisition. I've got him over here on the display, because he is the ringleader. He's in charge. But then we've got all of the members of his posse here. So as you can see, the loadout here is called the Grand Inquisitor. I've got to remember to re-equip Carrier into it. I would like to attach a Hound to it. However, Hera's shield is not large enough by itself to really function as a link for the companions of this sort. So I can't properly make them tanky enough to survive the sort of conditions that we're going to be enduring during the hunt. So the Hound works with Warframes like Inaros and Nidus and those other ones who have large, massive health pools to start. I'm hoping at some point, I might take a slight detour somewhere along the way and get some endo and credits so that I can fully upgrade the Link Shields mod and see if that is sufficient to upgrade a Hound to the point of being tanky enough to survive. Because, unlike me, the player, Hounds can't self-reinforce. They don't really have a self-preservation instinct. Their one instinct is fight. Now, you can alter this with the precepts, giving them abilities that, enhance their defensiveness, give them special capabilities to disarm enemies or briefly become less attackable, less vulnerable. But in the end, when they start running low on health, they won't do what a player does, which is take time to lick their wounds and recuperate. They will stay on the attack. So the way that you normally combat this is you run something like Inaros or Nidus or even Lavos so that you can link armor and health, and the damage that they take is so low that when you attach a healing rate mod or a lifesteal mod of some sort to them, it more than makes up for the damage that they then take. It doesn't work nearly as well when you're running a more, damage-oriented Warframe like Harrow. Now, granted, Harrow can pump his own shields to massive amounts. That doesn't extend to his companions, though, so it's difficult. I would like to crank the hell out of this Hound, make it massive, but doesn't work so great, unfortunately. What I really need is to get a Hound with a massive shield in the first place, and then pump that in correlation to Harrow, because that'll likely result in something better. But as you can see right here, I've got a whole slew up here towards the top and Baruch there down on the bottom left of specially oriented role-based loadouts. We've got the Grand Inquisitor. He's the hunter. He's oriented for whatever may come along the way along the majority of the hunt itself. He's the ringleader. Then we've got the Hierophant here. This is Inaros. Now, I haven't used him much lately because originally his role would have been simply spawning them. But since he spawns flame ones exclusively, and right now we're on the hunt for cold damage ones, he's taking sort of a backseat for the time being. Now, mind you, if I really wanted to go absolutely heavy on this, he would be the ideal hunter, because while he isn't, supremely awesome at dealing damage and, keeping up all the time, he's practically fucking immortal. He's invincible. And, of course, I can actually attach the Hound to him, and it gets 6,000 and some health. It becomes almost as indestructible as him. It's great. And I do have Medipet Kit in there, because that's what you need. And I think I also have a heal rate on him as well. Yeah. So that adds up to 9 health per second being redoubled on the Hound. It's perfect. It fits massively. And as you can see, I've actually got a little trophy there on his shoulder. It kind of upsets me that you can't get, you can't put it on either shoulder. I understand why, because they really only designed it for one shoulder, but it means that I can't put the Grenier trophy on my shoulder at the same time as the Corpus trophy. I get it, they only want you to have one, or maybe they didn't think about it and only designed that for one shoulder. Maybe when they're in the studio and they design these things, they put it on the left shoulder, that's where they design them, and when they make this one, they obviously don't want you to have this on both shoulders, so they only produce it for the left shoulder. So when they go through the designing process, they always start with left shoulder and normally just reflect it to the right. Yes, left shoulder, right shoulder. Sorry, I'm touching my left shoulder with my right hand and my right shoulder with my left hand, and that got to me for a moment. Anyway, sidetracked again. So that's the Hierophant. He's normally the progenitor just because he's good at producing them, and if absolutely necessary, if a target becomes particularly violent or messy, he gets sent in instead of the Inquisitor. Next, we have the High Priestess. The idea behind the High Priestess is she can spawn them or she can hunt them. Obviously, I haven't max ranked her out yet. There's still some things that need to be figured along the way, but the idea is she's sort of like the loose cannon that you send, because she's got the ultimate ability there, which is literally just point, shoot, and they will be obliterated. That's it. That's the idea behind Wisp. Obviously, that runs into an issue if they're resistant or even immune to radiation damage. That can be a problem. But, you know, it is what it is. I do want to get another ephemera for her. I think I'm going to leave this ephemera on the High Inquisitor. Either that or I'm going to switch to the cold one. I'm not sure yet. It's all a matter of figuring out what works with who. But I don't feel like this one quite fits on her. And maybe that's just me being mistaken. But oh, that was silly. Whatever. But yeah, that's the High Priestess. It's a little bit of a role fulfill either way, but she's not terribly good at either. Whereas the Inquisitor is exceptional at hunting and not great at producing, she's not exceptional at both, but can fulfill either. And likewise, the Hierophant is incredible at both, but is also at the same time not very versatile. So he's very tunnel vision. He can't diversify. Then we've got the Archbishop. This one is a bit of an oddball in there, mostly because he almost barely doesn't fit in at all, which is kind of strange considering he's the Archbishop. But his direction is an entirely different idea. His is adapting to whatever the scenario be along the way. So if we have to deal with like a really, really difficult situation that no one else is really quite suited for, Lavos, the Archbishop, he can handle it, you know. We've got the Canoness, and this one is mostly just because this ephemera looks fucking awesome on Trinity. Mostly because it almost exactly resembles this skin with the halo and the dress. Like, that's dead ringer right there. Yeah, that's mostly the ideal behind her. I guess this is sort of the branching out sort of section of things where it's like, okay, you aren't really devoted to the hunt yourself. You're more towards assisting others. So you're kind of a sideliner. If someone else is engaging in a hunt, then you're there to support them. That's the idea behind her. Also, I thought it would be absolutely hilarious to have like this heavenly sort of appearance and then a fucking Karak, you know, the AK-47 of Warframe. I thought that would be just hilarious, and frankly, I think I was right. Nah, red looks too fucking basic on that. Give it a white stripe, and then make this copper. Yeah, that's a bit better. I love the look of the Karak, and once we're all done with the Sisters of Parvos, which, granted, is a long way off, but when we're done with that, I'm going to skip on back over to the Liches so that I can get a Kuva Karak. That's something that I've wanted for a long time, and I've been denied for a long time, and I won't stand for it. Mainly because I also have a fucking mod for Karak, a Riven. And I can't use it right now because... Well, I can use it, but it's not so great because the Karak itself is only so good right now. There's a look. There's a good look.
Of power continues
Shut
to
up.
Shift. Navigation is
Also, she's got the Cycron, which is one that I pulled from a sister. It's okay. It's alright. I think my current sister has one as well. The thing that I do like about it is the infinite ammo, and it looks pretty cool because it seems to have its own little ephemera attached there, which the Tenet weapons in general seem to. I like that about them. So my hope is that I'm going to Valence Fusion this a couple times, but I really like the infinite ammo about Cycron. That's been a serious staple about it for me. The only reason I haven't had a regular Cycron until now is because the damage couldn't get very good. This one, it can. You know, it can self-propel itself to new heights. Only issue is, whatever damage type you choose for your Cycron... Well, wait. If I take this out, does it... No, it still stays as Blast because Cycron's natural damage type is Heat, and this one is reinforced with Cold because the Lich I was the sister I was hunting was Cold. So I've ended up with Blast. That's annoying. I might have to do something to like edit that somehow. I don't know if I can though. What I'm likely to do is try and get a sister with Heat with Cycron so that I can just crank it back to normal damage and go all in on Heat. Radiation, maybe. Toxin, maybe. It's difficult to decide because, again, I'll have to do some reconfiguring either way to make sure I get the actual damage types I want out of it. It complicates things. A little sideline, by the way, that I'll probably do in another stream somewhere, somehow. I don't know. I want to get the Tenet melee weapons, specifically the one that's basically just a fucking lightsaber katana. That's awesome. But holy shit, do they take forever to farm. These are supposed to be like the answer to arbitrations if you sided with the other guys, right? That's the correlation there. Arbitrations have you go to the Arbiters of Hexus, but if you're someone who is always aligned with the other trio that the Arbiters can't side with, then you're like, well, why do you keep sending me to people I don't have agreements with? What is this shit? So now we've got one that has you actually head on over to the other side and exchange Corrupted Void Keys. Now here's the thing about Corrupted Void Keys. As with everything in Warframe, they're a chance drop. They're RNG based. But the thing that differentiates them from Vitus Essence, is it Vitus Essence that you get from arbitrations? I think it is. The thing that makes it so different and frankly annoying is that it doesn't actually drop in the missions that you go farming in it from. It's a mission reward, meaning that you have to actually run the mission separate times to keep trying for the reward, as opposed to what arbitrations let you do, which is stay in the mission and then get the rewards from a specific enemy that has a chance to drop it. It's annoying. It's fucking pisses me off. It annoys me. But it is what it is. I want what it offers. Maybe they'll buff the drop rates or something in the future. I don't know. Point is, it is a goal for me to get that weapon. I don't think that you can buy it outright, which is intentional. Obviously, they don't want you getting the reward for a very difficult thing by just plugging money into the game, which I love about Warframe, by the way. But at the same time, I like the option to just opt out. But at the same time, if I really wanted to do that, I could just buy Prime Access all the time. I'm not into that. Anyway, the final one is the Deacon, and this is the catch-all. You know, this is just the guy that you go to when you're doing anything else. This is my favorite Warframe, more or less. Harrow and him are honestly tied. Harrow comes a little bit short just because he's very squishy in comparison to Baruch, which is crazy because he technically, like, at base has more health, but you know why that is. I made an entire hour-and-a-half stream about that. Anyway, right now we are currently on the hunt for an existing sister, so we're going to take care of that. Once she's done and dealt with, we'll move on to the next. We'll respawn a new one with the Frost Progenitor over here, Revenant, because Revenant actually is a Frost Progenitor, is a cold progenitor, so it'll keep giving me the sisters that I want, and hopefully, eventually, one of them will have the ephemera that I want. So, we will just have to see, but hopefully it won't take too long. Something that has been bothering me about this the whole time that I've been doing it, though, I haven't been getting the weapons that I want. It gave me one of the new Tenet exclusive weapons, which was the Envoy, and then it gave me like a ton of Tetras. It tried to give me Archiplasmor, which is great, but it's not what I'm looking for. If I'm gonna get like a Lich or Sister shotgun weapon, I'm gonna go for the Lich's Heck, which is a new one. I'm also at some point gonna farm the Liches to get Grattler, because I want Grattler badly. I have it on Switch, like regular Grattler, and it's perfect for Necromech. So a better version of that weapon, I'd be crazy not to want, you know? But yeah, the sisters haven't really been giving me what I want. Don't get me wrong, Cycron is cool, but as far as the sisters secondaries, it's kind of the piddly one out of all of them. And I haven't gotten their... Do they even have an arch weapon? Is there a sister's arch weapon? I know that you get those for Liches, but Liches are actually a lot larger than the sisters, so I'm suddenly inclined to believe that the sisters just don't... Yeah, they don't have arch weapons. But I want Diplos. I want Spirex. This is the lightsaber katana I was talking about. Look, this is how it looks normally when it's folded up. It's just a little case. They call it an attaché case. Infinitely sharp two-handed blade. So I think that in actuality, this thing is a large Nikana, not a small one, even though the blade is so fucking thin. But I don't know. It's hard to say until we actually get our hands on it. And I would like look it up to find out, but I don't need to know that badly. I'm in it for the appearance, not the actual state of the weapon. Yeah, the fact that it folds up, it's very cool. There's these guys, which I want because massive critical chance. I can do exactly what I've done to Akbolto and get it over 100%. That's me. And the crit damage base is already pretty fucking cool. Magazine's large. Fire rate is pretty large. It also seems... Yeah, these guys are just a very cool weapon. And I want it, but no one's been giving me it. I also really want this one. Look at the status on the sucker. It's also rail slugs. I don't know what the deal is with it, but I want it. I want to try it. I want to see what it's about. But again, this one, and Flux Rifle have not spawned for me. I'm not interested in Flux Rifle. But it keeps giving me Envoys and Tetras and Archiplasmor. And at one point it tried to give me Detron, and I was like, fuck off, kindly. Look, I know that Detron is actually a really nice secondary shotgun. I just don't want it. I've got enough secondary shotguns, man. I've got Piranha. If I really want to, I can pull out Vacor Merlock and put the mod in there that turns it into a shotgun. It's annoying. You know, it pisses me off. But, again, I want the Livia, but that might be a ways off. Granum Attache system causes the combo timer when holstered. Oh! See, that's very convenient then, man. That means that, like, when it's holstered, my combo is not going to go down. That's awesome. That's a little bit overpowered. Well, we'll have to see what it ends up being. Tenant Envoy. This thing is hilarious, but all in all, it's kind of not as good as it should be. The damage is there, and the fact that it can track, like, you point it, you shoot it, and as long as you're aiming, you can reposition the missile, like in Half-Life. That's cool. That's great. That's wonderful. Problem is, it has recoil. So if your enemy is just that little bit too close, you're going to be shoot, and then doo, you're going to lead the missile right into the fucking ceiling. It's like, really? You want me to install a fucking recoil mod on a missile launcher? Not to mention the fact that it says the trigger is semi, but I'm pretty sure it's actually automatic. If it isn't, then it fires so damn quick for what it is. But anyway. Again, I've gotten sidetracked talking about, well, semi-sidetracked. Anyway, we're here to hunt a sister.
By the power vested in me by the true head of the corpus, I claim this sector.
That's nice. It also occurs to me that I think one of my mods needs to be replaced on Parazon. I think... Oh, no. I have another Jahu. What was it that I don't have anymore? I have Riss. I have Zata. Oh, no. I'm going to need to replace Vohm, and I have a replacement for Locke. So, if I have to use Vohm again, I'm going to need to replace it. Kra, I'm also going to need to replace if I use again. I think otherwise we're kind of in the clear. I don't want to use Ool until I get another replacement for it, but they might force me. I was told that the way that you get more Ool... One moment. I've been told that the way to get Ool is that it randomly has a 1 in 4 chance to drop from a sister or lich. I haven't had that happen yet, and I've killed 4 of them already since it released. Actually, I've killed 5 of them since it released. No other Ool drops, so I'm going to have to check on that again at some point. But that's the state of things. That's the way that things are. Anyway, we're moving on. We're sister hunting. Don't want to do defense. Survival is a good one to start with. Spy, excavation, mobile defense, capture, defense. There's too many defenses. Rescue? Might want to start with rescue then. Start with rescue, do capture and survival, and then we can move on to the exterminates. and the sabotages. It's rough. Ordinarily, you want like 2 survivals or 2 exterminates. If you can manage it, 2 sabotages. You want to have at least 1 capture. And then you want to avoid ones with defense objectives, which is why rescue is kind of iffy. You definitely want to do rescue as your first, though, if you're not going to do the other defense objectives first, just so that you can avoid having the sister or lich spawn in the middle of the rescue mission as you're trying to escort the hostage, because it complicates fucking everything. Are you done, sir? God damn. Likewise with survival, in a way, since you have to look after your life support, you don't want the lich or sister spawning in a place way removed from all the life support and dragging you down and possibly compromising how well you can fight them. So, take care of rescues and survivals early on, and then leave things that are so lax, like exterminate and so on, to later. The reason I don't say spy as one of the ones that's a concern is because there's 3 objectives, and you get in and out of them relatively fucking quickly. Most of the fighting isn't done within them in the first place, so it's very rare that the lich interacts with them. And then sabotage, for the most part, is easy as shit, because I've figured out a perfect way to deal with it where you don't have to worry about defense objectives or surviving a certain amount of time. Fucker stole my gun. Are we done? Give me my gun back. It's worth noting that this Kuva Quartak I've got, which is one of my favorite weapons right now, it is awesome, is silenced. I've got a hush mod on it so that I can perform stealth missions with it, which is kind of a waste of an Exilus slot, but not really. I mean, here's the thing about Exilus mods, right? They serve one of 3 functions. The rest of the mods that can go in there mean nothing to me. Either they're there to make sure that you don't run out of ammo in the form of either... I don't know if actual max ammo mods can go in there, but I know that ammo mutation mods can go in there, so they fulfill that purpose. They silence the weapon, like I'm doing right now, or they... fuck, guy interrupted my train of thought. They increase the projectile speed for non-hit scan weapons or shotguns. That's it. That's the purpose that I can see them serving. They can't increase fire rate. They can't do anything for damage. They Look, I appreciate the fact that we got an extra mod slot, and it's very nice that it takes care of those mods that do things that aren't damage or so on and so forth. But I feel like magazine capacity should also be an option there. I'm 100% certain that it's not an option there, and I really feel like it should be. I understand why it isn't, though, because mag capacity is so useful that it doesn't really work for that slot. I don't know. I just feel like weapons ought to have more slots in the first place, but after a certain point it becomes redundant, and it becomes, well, now you're just letting me make my weapon too powerful. It's a very careful state of balance. And giving me what I want is just, it's interfering with the natural order. I have a pet peeve about some of the newer Corpus units. They've started using cold damage and status a lot more, which is annoying because when you've got to move quick in a game that emphasizes quick movement, being slowed down is painful. Then I guess that's what Rolling Guard's whole idea is about. Sorry, my voice is kind of fucky-wucky because my throat is dry and I was making funny voices last night. There's a whole bottom to this area on the map, and if there were, like, caches in this mission, that's where I would expect them to be. Hound? Oh, he's trying to steal my weapon again. Oh, he's a teleporter too. Great. Yeah, I fought a teleporter earlier. It's pretty fucking annoying. But hey, now I'll have the teleporting mod for mine, I guess. Although it's not one that I particularly want. I already have the duplication mod, which seems to be the best. Fucking love this gun. It fulfills every role that I need a primary weapon to do. If I have a single problem with it, it's that it doesn't have a radial attack thing on it. But to a certain degree, that's also a good thing. I'd say that the ammo consumption is a concern, but that's never been an issue so far. Oh, I-10 sculpture. What do you know? I wonder if they do that when they sense that you don't have a lot of I-10 sculptures, or if it really is just random chance. Because back when I had like 5 in my inventory, I never saw them. But since I've started using them to get my endo, I've been seeing them, you know, in the positions like that one, where they're just in the mission. Which, you know, I appreciate, but it's confusing. It's strange. It also reminds me, I need to get more I-10 stars. Wait a minute. It's self-reloading, or does ammo case do that? Have I forgotten that I've put... I think I have a mod in my Sentinel that means that weapons get auto-reloaded when holstered. And I've just forgotten about it. I mean, in which case, rad, but that also... Let's see. If I dip out... Yep, it refills them. That's interesting. That's good. Means that switching weapons will always be effective for me, but it's unusual. Maybe I should do that more often. Oh, fuck this. Goodbye. Should be one more warden somewhere. Sounds like he's somewhere over here. No, this is the way that I'm gonna end up going. Where? Ooh. Hit the camera. There you go. Alright. There's also a hound nearby, which I don't really appreciate. You know, what can you do? I don't know where the warden is. It's concerning me. Sounds like he's in here. No, that was the MOA. I don't know where he is. Well, whatever the case, I have a hound to deal with when I'm done in here. Oh, wait, I'm stupid. Whoopsies. I'm gonna turn off the gate. Warden. Corpus Warden. Did I kill all of them and not notice the alert? Nope, there he is. There's the alert. Okay, they're all gone. And yeah, that door is locked until I finish in here, which is annoying because that means that I'm going to have to face the hound while toting the hostage. Do not appreciate.
I'm in your debt, Tenno. Let's go home.
Have a gun. Maybe that'll help. Although the hound may steal my weapons, in which case I might have to rob that from you. There's a lot of enemies. It's okay, I've got a lot of chains. You're not shooting that nearly as fast as you could be, dude. You've got a weapon. Defend yourself, goddammit. It's a very good weapon, too. There you go. Good little hostage. Okay.
As a
That went well.
Maprico falls from the shaken tree, so too falls fortune from the idol.
Do I look idle to you, lady? I'm gonna get a drink. My throat is killing me. Okay, I got my water. Ugh, no hair. Should be good. Hairs keeps getting into my headphones. Okay. We proceed. So, shouldn't have a requiem for her yet. No way. I think 2 more missions.
There
and it'll
are
pop up.
depths you could never sound, cold you could never endure. In such places, we have our birthing.
Mm-hmm. Let me say, lady, your hound has actually really interesting legs. Seen the head a lot. Core looks very thin, but the legs are interesting. Got a terrible bonus on your weapon, though. Disappointing. Well, onwards and upwards. Next, we're going to do a survival. Are there 2 survivals or only 1? See, there's only 1. That's annoying. Normally, I like to have an extra.
Your job is to distract the enemy while a fellow Tenno operative raids the ship for much-needed supplies. Make your presence known. They have just shut down all systems. I'm sending life support capsules your way.
Fuck yourself, hound. Boop. Let me get to the life support. There we go. What was that? What was that stagger? Oh, hi, hound. Shield drones. You made the shield drones a lot more annoying. I mean, part of my issue is that I'm not using toxic damage against the enemies notoriously weak to toxic. But listen, I'm stubborn. I like fire damage. Though I do have big plans to reconfigure this rifle when I get a chance. Radiation is cool and all, and it is a nice effect to have on such a powerful weapon, but heat is just that much awesomer. So that's what I have to say about that. Well, I might transfer it to cold, just so that I can align with damage type I'm already in here. Otherwise, maybe Toxin. Toxin's a good one. The hunting a Lich with Toxin is gonna be supremely annoying if I have to run Harrow for it. So I might switch over to the Hierophant instead. Am I through all the hounds? There should be one more in the mission. There's usually 3. Fucking cryo turret motherfuckers. Stop. Yeah. Oh, hello, hound. Oh, hello, yeah. Fucker. I'm reloading. Just gotta switch weapons.
Extraction is available if
See,
you need it.
here's the thing, right? As far as, like, dealing with massive crowds goes, that Quartac is, like, the best thing for the job. But when I come up with a particular enemy, especially hounds that can disarm me, Akbolto cuts through it like nobody's business. There we go. See? Easy. Now, if you could stop slowing me the fuck down, I'm trying to leave. It's okay. Life support is allowed to run out when the mission is already complete.
I see, I desire, I take. Try to stop me.
I will, and I'll succeed. I don't like that stat because in that orientation it suggests that I only got 29 headshots. The actual stat is 29 headshot kills, which is stupid. See? Headshot kills. It's different. It's different. Because technically speaking, if it counted the actual number of headshots I got, Quartac would probably, like, quadruple that number because it fires 4 shots at once. Although I've got multi-shot on it, so it fires somewhere around 6 at once. Is it 6? No, somewhere around 8 at once. A little over 8. Yeah. So there you go. Of course, you know, some of them were ruined when it was in automatic fire mode, and then it's only 1 shot at once, but there was a lot of quad shots. Fire accuracy, 75%. Let's fucking go. Quartac definitely buffs up that statistic because, you know, 4 shots at once, as long as I'm dead on target, you know, it's good. Still nowhere closer. In fact, not nearly as close as I... Oh!
Waited. just as Parvos waited.
I thought I only
Now
fought 2 hounds
I
there. Was it 3? Maybe it was 3. I still don't think it should have been that much. But whatever. We're moving on. How is she feeling, though?
By the power
Fuming.
vested
Cool.
in
She's
me
going to start
by the true
pissing me off
head
now.
of the
Well,
corpus,
I've pissed her
I
off. Now
claim
she's going to
this
start
sector.
crapping in my cornflakes.
Must die in vain. Sooner or later,
Every debt comes due. Sure. You're racking up a pretty large debt every time you
You are
steal
here,
credits from my
find our
missions, though.
target
Don't
and bring
forget.
them to the extraction point. Happy hunting.
But yeah, the way that I built this loadout is Quartek is an awesome crowd clearing weapon. If the enemies are particularly tough, I can go burst fire and just slam through them. But if it gets stolen from me by hounds, Akbolto will make impressively short work of them. Not to say that Quartek won't also, it's just Akbolto is the focus down targeter. Yet between me and my target, Akbolto is going to have a couple words to say about you. Of course, I'm working on getting another pistol that'll hopefully serve that purpose better. If I could, I'd like to get Diplos and see if I can't do the same thing to them as I did to Akbolto, seeing as they have almost the exact same, if not the exact same, base critical chance. I'm about to eat a ton of damage here because for some reason they don't make you invulnerable for that animation.
The captive has been escorted to the extraction point. Well done.
I'm trying to crank my shields back up here, but the enemies aren't really grouping up enough. Alright, that's enough. 2,000. That'll do. Well, there's a hound here. Didn't notice that. Hound, come here in the tunnel. I'm gonna force you into a corridor. Teleporting son of a bitch. Well, it means that we're already working on our next Requiem, which is great, actually. I like getting past the first Requiem and moving on into the next, unlike the first planet. It's very convenient. God, 1,000 meters away. Well, there's certainly got to be another hound spawn between here and there. The question is, will there be a sister spawn between here and there? I may be able to get the second symbol while I'm here on this planet, but it's going to be tight because they didn't give me the second survival mission. That would have been the one that pushed me over the edge, I think. But we'll see. Plenty of time left in the day. Oh. I thought there was another MOA there. I was apparently mistaken. I don't need to fight all of you guys, especially not in a room as open as this one. Sir. Okay, fine. We'll do it the hard way. I was trying to be courteous. Also, the reload on this gun, love it. Also, this is actually only the second most powerful as it can be. Like, you see the 2 fire modes, whatever. The thing is, if I activate my second ability while I'm using this gun, it becomes a fucking saw blade. I mean that in a, like, metaphorical sense, but, like, you'll see. At some point, I'll have the opportunity to use that ability, and it'll blow your fucking minds, man. I'm wondering if I shouldn't pull a move like I did on Switch, where instead of cranking up his shields as much as I already do, I should instead crank up his health and just let his overshields do the shield tanking, but I can't remember if the amount of overshields you get is entirely dependent on your base shield level, because if that is the case, then I'm gonna want his shields to be very high in the first place.
Die for me.
Oh, okay, you're gonna do that.
This will be over disappointingly
Oh,
fast.
did you detonate the hound? I was kind of hoping to farm out its fucking life. You see what I mean about Akbolto, though? Also, it leads to funny shit like this when I use it. There was a cutscene at one point where I had just, you know, killed my sister for the last time, and it was like, alright, do you want to vanquish her or convert her? What's the deal? And she just looks like this in the cutscene. Like she was a fucking porcupine.
I am elevated, and you are trodden underfoot.
Okay, Varia. Whatever you say. Don't slip and fall on a dick.
Do not claim what you cannot keep.
That's kind of what I have to say to you. I want to get all of these credits back when I do you in. These sisters with their god complexes, man. They're like convinced. Craw. I think that's one of the ones that I was actually concerned about. I think that's one that I've had like for the past couple. Yeah. I'm gonna have to farm out another Craw. And another Vohm, probably. I bet you that Vohm's gonna be in the list again. Alright, where's the relic that gives Craw? Okay, so I've already actually been seeing two radianting these. Maybe I should make a stop off at a Void Storm just to farm up some more traces, you know? So I can put more traces into another relic to try and get Craw. I don't know. It's an arduous and lengthy process. I also want to see, could I feasibly see, I've already got primed vigor in here. That should be enough. I'm thinking Carnus Carapace. If I swap one of these out, it would be for Carnus Carapace. Would it be duration? Would it be streamline? I mean, I really like streamline, but with flow and with Thurble, it doesn't mean as much. In fact, Thurble is a bit too efficient at this point. But the problem is then that makes it more difficult to use Condemn as much. I would have to use Thurble a lot more often. Not that that's necessarily an issue. Alright. We'll try it. Wow, that is not a massive increase. But the armor should be important. 56.8, and now... What is it? No, 36.8, and now it's 48.3. That's not a huge increase, but I'm hoping that it's enough to justify. God, that's an increase of like 100 health at best. It's annoying. We'll give it a shot. I mean, if I really, really wanted to, I could do that shit, and it would drop my shield a bunch, but my armor would be much better. But no, we'll... See, the other thing is, I'm also really tempted, because there's moments where I'm just sitting waiting for my shield to recharge. I'm wondering if I shouldn't do that instead, where I crank my shield recharge. In which case, I could do something like that for the Hound as well. Hold on. Hold on. Doesn't get me a lot. How much does this get me? Not a lot. The problem is, if they get hit by toxin, doesn't work too good. There's linked shields. There's linked shields. So I would put that in. That's a sizable amount of shields. I mean, it's nothing to scoff at. Where is, however, there's, this is the thing that I'm looking for, and now I can't find it. The thing that's supposed to increase your shield regen. Is that not available on Hounds? Is that Sentinel only? Oh, wow. Yeah, accelerated deflection. Sentinel only. Fuck! I was really hoping I'd found a way through, but apparently not. You need massive shields to put on those Hounds, because it's the same issue that MOA companions have, right? When you get them, right? The thing that differentiates them from Sentinels is Sentinels are small. They have a tiny hitbox, and they're so close to you that a lot of times the enemies never even take notice of them. They only start shooting at them when, like, you're downed or something, and then the Sentinel has to defend you or something like that, or if you're behind cover and then the Sentinel is hanging out over top of it, that's when the Sentinel faces issue. For Hounds and MOAs, that goes out the fucking window, because they are their own separate entity that walks around separate from you and has a much larger hitbox. Hounds even more so than MOAs. So they get into trouble. I need to get more mutagen mass again. I had a plan to make Jin and get the special Jin mod from Cephalon Samaris, and then I didn't, because I instead spent that shit on fucking pair of handguns, which granted, I like the handguns, they're great, but mutagen mass, man, it's actually really difficult to get, because for some reason the infestation missions only ever want to give you what the other side is offering, or the Mutilus Dalid V coordinates. And mutagen mass doesn't come in threes like it does for the other shit. It doesn't make sense. It's annoying. It pisses me off. And then if I want to make, like, mutagen mass through the thing... Oh, hi, I'm fighting alongside the Corpus now. That's weirding me out, honestly. See, Ekbolto in a normal mission just annihilates. Anyway, but if you want to make mutagen mass with the blueprint, Jesus Christ, dude, it's annoying as all fuck. Fucking ancient disruptors. Don't like that. See, it's... decreased my efficiency, but I'm wondering if the amount of effective health gain was worth it. Because I've got a whole ass, like, healing ability that's mostly useful for teammates and objectives like this, but I don't often have the excuse to use it. I guess if I really wanted the fire rate boost, I would use it. The problem is, until I replace Akbolto, I don't often want that fucking boost. Now, mind you, it's awesome on Quartet. And at some point, I hope that I have the chance to show how awesome that is. Huh. The timer got reset on that thing for some reason. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but if you wind it back 10 seconds and look down, bottom right, you can see that for a moment there it was stuck on 1.3.
We are finished here. Move on. I need access to a terminal.
Just got a message from a
Find
friend.
one and patch me in.
Good, good. It's good news. It's good news. I keep forgetting that I'm allied with them. I find it significantly possible right now that it's going to go from mobile defense to exterminate after I finish this terminal, because that's what happens a lot of times lately. Like, I know that it's a very nice diversification on the mission, but it happens sometimes with Spy, and the reason why it happens on Spy is if you alert the alarms too much when you're cracking the vaults. Why it happens on this one sometimes, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's random, or if it's difficulty based, or what. It seems to happen way more often at higher difficulty, so I'm inclined to believe that that's what it is. But I don't know. Also, because I always run Sentinels, I never really feel the need to heal much as Harrow, because his health pool is so small, but Sentinels have that capability to heal. They're, I don't think the Hounds and MOAs can do that, but it's hard to tell which mods are Sentinel only and which ones are pet only and which ones are companion universal. Like, I thought that shield recharge one would have been universal. It's shocking that you can't put that on a pet. Kind of because I think of that as an essential mod for something that has health or shields. What do you know? It's making me do all the terminals. Hello, friend. Wow, this is gonna be easy as fuck. Got a buddy. I've got two buddies. One of them's an MOA. Leg with guns. Legs with gun. Oh, he popped the shield Osprey. You fucking monster. Look at my shields. That guy would have stolen my fucking health. Or my energy. Whatever. I don't care. Alright, watch this shit. Where are the enemies? You're hiding them.
Mission complete.
Ta-da! Gun's fucking awesome. Do these guys follow me? I know that they do that in the exterminate missions. But I don't know if they'll do that here where the enemies just keep spawning and distracting them. Yeah, they're following. Although that could just be because there's enemies in the direction that I'm heading. It's hard to tell with exterminate missions at first, but you can definitely see it in the defense missions and stuff. I, by the way, love that. Look, I think that it's an underrated idea to have your enemies briefly become your allies. Aw, buddy, I couldn't save you. I think it's really great to have the people who so often make your life difficult to then be, you know, making your enemies' lives more difficult for a while. Anyway. Gotta do this mission 2 more fucking times to get 2 mutagen mass. It's absurd. I'm gonna check the dojo and see if I can't just buy the blueprint and then make it a couple times, but it takes 12 hours or 24 hours. Either way, it takes fucking forever to make. That's the worst part about it, okay? That's the thing that bothers me. I get it with Forma, but Forma you only usually need 1 of. Sometimes you need 2, but that's very rare. Mutagen mass? You need in massive quantities. And they're like, no. It's not for you. No, no, no. Wait 12 hours. I need to get exceptional sentient core conversion. I need to start getting radiant centrium and heartnith so I can make these stupid weapon adapters. Because I get blueprints for them all the fucking time. What was I going to build? I forgot. I need to build Jin, though. I'm tired of not having Jin, so I'm going to build Jin. There's another mod for him that I need to get where he can revive you, because my hope is to eventually replace Carrier with him, and not having ammo case is going to suck. But being able to constantly be revived is not going to suck. Although I don't know. I know that you can get the one where Jin sacrifices itself to resurrect you. The thing is, I think they might pull a sneaky on me and make it so that you can't simultaneously have the one that constantly revives Jin and the one that has Jin revive you. I don't know. Maybe the idea is that the respawn delay on Jin with that one mod becomes too long if you die too soon after it already revived you. I don't know. But usually that's not an issue for me. The issue for me would be if it takes time for him to revive you and he can get killed before he does it. Then it seems kind of like, well, why bother getting it? But I don't know. Anyway, mutagen mass. Oh, I wanted to drop by the dry dock and get the blueprint. For that shit. Relax, we're literally going back to the dojo in a minute. You don't have to pull out the cat. See? I'd really like to get a Railjack skin, but it's another one of those cosmetics that you just have to outright buy. Which is annoying, but understandable. Right, this is my PC. Not Switch. See, on Switch I've got the clan oriented perfectly. This isn't even my clan anymore. I actually handed it off to Another member. I think 1B? Yeah. Mutagen mass. Are you a reusable blueprint? I don't think you are. I'm gonna replicate you twice. It's just stupid how long they take to build. Unless they've somehow changed it and now it's down to like one of those 5-minute build times. That'd be awesome, but I doubt it. Frankly, it should be low as shit anyway because the resource you need to build them isn't exactly, you know, easy to get your hands on. And no, it's not a reusable blueprint. Look at that shit. And it still takes 12 hours. Justified. My anger is justified. But hopefully with this, I can at least lower the amount of times that I need to go out on these missions to get the mutagen mass. It's defense now? Are you serious? Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to briefly switch over to Hierophant so that I can at least get some more ranks on the doggy. How much longer does my affinity blessing last? Thank goodness to whoever gave that to me. Another 11 hours, so I should spend as much time as I can cranking it. Okay, you're set up properly. Because I want to gild him. I want to gild him, get his health and armor and all higher, and, you know, be able to mod him better as well. Because I don't think I can install an Orkan reactor until they're gilded. And I also can't customize the way that they look until they're gilded, so...
The enemy is at the doorstep. You must defend.
Look at the puny shield they gave you. 150 is over shields for you. Jesus Christ. Also, you may have noticed that I've fucked up my HUD by changing the colors of things. Oh, this is fucking Tenant Tetra. This thing is garbage. I hate it. I don't despise it, but its fire rate, its natural fire rate is terrible. I mean, look at this shit. It's depressing. It doesn't even have enough recoil to justify this terrible fucking fire rate. Like, come on, man. If you're gonna make it fucking suck, at least make it, like, cool. Make it like, you know, like a heavy machine gun feel, like the Quartak has, where it's donk, 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 donk. Doesn't feel like this. It's a tiny gun too. Like, look at the size of this thing in my arms. It's puny. That's depressing. It doesn't even have a stock. Which, by the way, if it did have a massive amount of recoil, would make it the most painful thing in the world. Having no stock to redirect some of that impact into your shoulder. Ugh. It's terrible. I mean, it does have a little recoil, but not nearly enough for me to be concerned. Forgot to apply my scarab armor. Look at my hound's heal rate. It's nothing like a shield regen rate, obviously, but it also has enough armor that doesn't take as much damage as a shield, you know? Hound, I gotta change your loadout, because I just realized that you've got some of the wrong mods in. I mean, health-wise, your mods are perfect, but... like, from the perspective of... I can't perform melee combos on... or finishers on you? That's annoying. Guess I'll have to regain the health the old-fashioned way, the way that you normally do with Inaros. Wait a minute. I'm just now realizing that some of the... what I did to Harrow doesn't make sense. Because, well, yes, giving him a larger health pool, yes, that's important. I also have the mod in that when he runs out of health, it starts draining his energy. So really... that doesn't make fucking sense. That's stupid. Also, one of the things that makes this weapon not suck as much is the fact that you can load it as a grenade instead and just blow the whole mag, but that's the entire fucking magazine, and it doesn't do as much damage as half of the magazine. So why would you? It's just the wimpiest fucking thing, you know? It's depressing. It's disappointing. I'm now wondering, because I'm not sure. I don't know who the progenitor from my first sister was. Because that's the one that I got this hound from, right? And I think I did magnetic, because that's what the original damage type was for the weapon that I got from her. I'm gonna have to check that. Yeah, rank up the fucking hound, please. I needs it. I really should be doing if I want to rank up the hound. I know that I'm diverting from the hunt for a moment, but it is desired that I do so, because mutagen mass missions are few and far between. Right, wait, let me see who the progenitor was. Just so I can answer that question.
I have
Lavos.
waited.
Huh, that's not
Just
who I would have
as Harvard's
thought
waited.
initially, but I guess that
Now.
makes sense. No, it doesn't. No, it does. I understand why it was Lavos. I don't understand why radiation is attached to Lavos, but I understand why it was Lavos. Let's finish this out, huh? Same shit again. Mutagen mass is a pain in the ass. Isn't it fun how that rhymed and everything?
You must defend our equipment until reinforcements arrive.
You'll respawn next to me. I'm not too concerned about that. The Hound has more health than me. Doesn't have more effective health than me, though. The armor is not so great. Oh, wait. Is it, though? Well, okay. Regular armor, you might have more health than me. But when I've got my full Scarab armor, not so much. Look, this is what I was talking about, by the way. Instead of gathering around the objective or whatever, the given allies gather around you. Are you stuck behind this rock? No. You're under the ground. I think it's the bottom of the elevator and didn't make it up somehow. I didn't think I crossed the border. Maybe I did. fire rate. It makes me sad. Like, okay, all in all, the weapon actually completely functions with its puny fire rate, but it just doesn't feel good, you know? I forgot to fix your fucking mods. Because, unfortunately, one of the mods, for some reason, that I've got in there has the side effect of making it so that I can't shoot through a bubble around you. Which, for the sake of the Hound, is a very good damage reduction technique. But, considering in this current loadout you don't actually need any further damage reduction, it's wasted. And it, in turn, becomes a liability. Or at least a detraction. Shit's taking care of itself. I only have to use my mouse right now. This is really fucking sad. Why was I not hitting him? Pretty fucking weird. Water in this house does not taste right, in my opinion. Fucking gun, dude. I might self-harm because of this fucking gun. It makes me very unhappy. Which is also, unfortunately, the exact reason I haven't gotten any of the upgrades for it. Like, every time it's been like, hey, do you want this sister? She's got a tenant fucking Tetra. I'm like, please no, not again. And I know it would be even better. It would be actually much better because its damage bonus is not great at the moment. But it would be way better if I got a new sister with it who had higher damage on it. But holy fuck, dude, I don't want to waste any more time on this fucking thing. The only reason I even have it on this loadout is because this guy won't die because he's got a bad weapon. I mean, preferably all of my Warframes would be unkillable even without weapons, but that's not what the game is about. The game is about a certain balance being had. The only thing that makes this gun bearable is the fact that it's not semi-auto. God, I can't imagine what it would be like to have to trigger pull every single fucking shot. They're so wimpy. Is it travel time on these bullets? There is, isn't there? I actually recall that about Tetra. This fucking gun makes me so angry. Why? Why does it exist? Hello? Travel time on bullets. That's terrible. I don't know whose idea that was, but they aren't a good decision maker, that's for sure. Yeah? Need another Orcan catalyst. I don't want to put more fucking money in the game to get it, but I'm gonna need one. Because, again, I keep getting Tenet weapons, and then I'm gonna have to catalyze them so that they're not wimpy as fuck. It's part of the reason why this one doesn't have a fire rate mod in it yet. Because I don't have enough catalyst for all these new weapons. I can't hit those guys because of this. And this is not a hit scan weapon either. Die. Just fucking die, please. Thanks. Alright. I've secured the mutagen mass. That'll come in when this invasion finishes. In the meantime, let's get back to hunting this goddamn sister. Since when do I have 800,000 credits? I knew that I had like 500,000 for a while. I get what? 70,000 every time I hunt a sister, but I would expect that I'd be using it to some degree. Maybe not. Oh, I also have a sculpture. 2 sculptures to socket. What do you know? This one is worth more than this one. But this one... Oh, I thought that this one was cyan only, but it does actually have amber. I need to get more stars, too. For some reason, I've been getting them less. I don't appreciate that. It makes me nervous. Just like having this fucking gun in a loadout makes me nervous. Pisses me off. Oh, so I have reactored you. But I have to... Okay, in order to correct that... Right, so I need a different denial. We've got diversified. Yes, that's the really good one. That one's good. That one's good. What are the other ones? It's calls down an orbital strike. Those sound cool. What are these other audits? That's awesome. I gotta upgrade these and install them. Now the question is, do I want the beam or the fucking orbital strike? Because the beam, like, mentally, the way that I think about this is the beam probably ends up dealing more damage focused. But I don't need focused damage from this guy. I need you to sweep up. Which technically this is probably better at doing. I'm going to leave that one in because on paper it actually seems to do better than these two. But I'm going to remember those two. How could I forget those two? Alright, let me see if there's one that I can slot in here. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be best. but it doesn't fit. So we're going to do this one. Alright, cool. Glad we settled it. But I need... Man, I can upgrade that one along the line. That one isn't like... That one's duration, I think, so I'm not too concerned about that. Okay. Let's get back on the tail of this fucking bitch. Seraphim's online. I might move over to For Honor. That's annoying. That interferes with my fucking plans. Okay, whatever. Not Dawn being online, by the way. That's not what I'm referring to. Ooh. At some point, I also need to stop off and get some more standing with Steel Meridian, because I want to get the armor set with them, but that won't take terribly long, so we'll stay focused on this. Alright, we've got defense, and spy, and exterminate. We're going to do spy first. Okay, I might actually be able to knock out the second before I have to confront her. That's good. That's good. I might knock her out as I get the second, though. That's annoying.
Your mission is to break enemy data
Also,
vaults and
something
steal
very
any
exciting.
files you find.
Dead Space remake? That makes me happy. It's probably not on the channel anymore, but there is a video. There's a couple videos, at least. I know there's at least one video. I don't know if I actually actively streamed Dead Space 1 while I was finishing it. See, that's the beam. But I love Dead Space. I'm almost certain that there's still a video of me playing Dead Space 3 and just using the weapon crafting arena a ton. Because I love all three of those games. I love the first one above all, but the third has a very close place in my heart. Ironically enough, the second one, which most people love to bits, is my least favorite of the trio. Not to say that I don't absolutely love that one as well. All three of them are fantastic, as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people didn't like 3, but I liked a lot of the ideas that it had. Like, for instance, the weapon crafting. Now, mind you, it doesn't fit as a Dead Space thing. I think that if you made the weapon crafting part of something else, it would do fantastically. It's just not a great Dead Space game. It's a fantastic game, just not a great Dead Space game. Also, the co-op campaign in that is also just brilliant. Love it. So why am I fighting the enemies? I'm literally in a spy mission. I just gotta make sure I crack 2 vaults. That's the only exhortation I should be pushing upon myself. I feel like they buffed security cameras recently. Not because I'm having trouble hitting them. That's just because I'm stupid and bad. No, I mean that they, like... the range at which they see you has been altered in a weird way. What? Come on, open. There you go. I've got a real problem now with reloading way too soon. Because, unfortunately, there's this weird gray area in Warframe that never gets fucking touched, where the weapon both requires you to use a lot of ammo, but is also ammo efficient. That you never see that. It's always either it uses a massive amount of its magazine, and you gotta reload all the time because, and you end up running out of ammo really easily. Quartak is the first one that honestly seems to not tread that line, but unfortunately, the first one that actually treads the line of being both ammo efficient and ammo consumptuous. I don't know how it managed it, but it works. It might be because I'm so used to having ammo case, but there's also the fact that it has that massive fucking stock behind it. You see how much fucking max ammo this fucking gun has? But unfortunately, I've built up a very bad habit of reloading incessantly, all the time. Every time after I've shot, or anything. Like, I had the urge to reload right there after the door shut. Which was silly, because I now have the ability to literally just change weapons, and it'll reload. Look at that. Back to full. Do you have the fucking shotgun in you again, Carrier? It does. Hey, put the fucking shotgun back in. You're supposed to have a silenced sniper rifle. That's what I normally have in you. And for some reason, you don't have it right now. What the fuck? It's very annoying. But it's because that's your default weapon. So it automatically wants to put Seeker Prime in. I get that, dude. Seeker Prime is a nice fucking gun at close range.
I have waited, just as Pavos waited.
Right.
I strike.
You done?
Too
Die.
late to make an
Good.
effort now.
Are you sure about that? Thanks for the hound, by the way. That makes my job a little bit easier. Mind if I grab this? Appreciate it. See how it spawned another enemy in that closet? One more. She's terribly weak right now. It doesn't reflect well. Okay, bye-bye. Enjoy non-being for a while.
The more you struggle, the harder the golden hand shall grip.
Right. Ah. Knew it. Shit, I just did it again. I keep reloading. I mean, it makes sense to a certain degree to do it when area is clear, but a lot of times I do it when area is not clear, and I've only just defeated the first wave of enemies or some shit. It's like, no, stop it, stop it. You've got, like, a massive fucking magazine on this thing. Why the fuck are you doing that? I wonder, if I hit someone with radiation in front of a camera, will the camera alert because they've suddenly enabled friendly fire on them? Or will the camera, does the camera only read faction? It's an interesting concept. Also, this hallway was empty a minute ago because I killed the fucking sister here. What is this nonsense? This is one of my least favorite improvements that they've made to the game. I do concede that it is indeed an improvement. It's an improvement for sure. The fact that the enemies will respawn in rooms to fulfill, because for a long time there was a possible issue that you could encounter where one of the enemies in an exterminate mission would get irrevocably stuck behind something that you could not hit them through. The reason I have a problem with it, though, is that it gets rid of a certain aspect that I really liked about the game, where you could clear out rooms and then come back to them and they'd still be empty, and you could just sort of enjoy the map that you had cleared. Can't do that anymore, and I miss it. I really miss it. Maybe when objective completes, it stops spawning enemies, but I have severe doubts about that, because it doesn't do that. I don't know. I'd like for that to be the case, but I have doubts that it is. The modern Corpus version of this map, like on the new tile set, this fucking hitbox is behind. Where are you? Doesn't this thing have punch through on the burst fire? Whatever. Oh, it was farther behind. That's probably why I wasn't hitting it. Actually, it does have punch through on the burst fire, or at least something about the burst fire tricks the game into thinking that it's got punch through. Whatever. Let me see where they are. Yeah, see? The reason it's taking so much to kill these guys is because they're being reinforced by a fucking shield drone. And I'm only getting body shots, not headshots. Might have been 2 shield drones. That could have been it. Alright, well, we're down here.
Do not claim what you cannot keep.
Like I said before, that's kind of my line.
Do you think to riddle me out?
That's the hope, yeah. Why? Why are you saying that? Did I unlock the next one and not even notice? No. Not even close. You cheeky liar. Okay, we've got 2 left. Because the rest of these are missions that I don't want to run. Defenses, mobile defenses, excavations. God, excavations on Nemesis missions, terrible, awful. Oh, wait, there's a sabotage. Dude, I've got another one. Oh, no, wait, that is one of the other ones. Yeah, mobile defense. Never mind. Damn it. That was gross.
I need you to sabotage this ship's reactor. The reactor is a complex system. Start by removing coolant cells. My intel suggests there are rich enemy supply caches in the area, but I am unable to pinpoint their exact location. Search them out if you are willing to shoulder the added risk.
Hold on. Real life issue. What was the other thing that I had? Anyway, excuse you. Fire rate went funky there for a moment. Do you see that? It was like dun 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 dun. I'm just now understanding how long it does actually take to farm through a sister. I nearly reloaded again there. Like, just after I busted the camera. That's a thing, too. Like, sometimes specific enemies or whatever, killing them, will automatically make me want to reload. Oh, he's dead. You could see it in the process of reloading there. Look. That's funny. The reason that that doesn't appeal to me as much is because Akolto Prime doesn't have a whole ton of ammo, so using it on the masses isn't really my idea of a good thing. It's not very wise in my mind. Also, why am I fighting the masses right now? This is a sabotage mission. found them. Who is them? There's only one of me, you know. Oh wait, it's a gender neutral term. Okay, I understand. Cameras, go fuck yourselves. Where's... There you are. Ooh.
I honor your desire to be torn asunder. My hound shall have the scraps.
Your hound is dead for the moment. That's good. It's good that you're actually getting this out of the way right now, rather than, you know, later down the line when I'm trying to deal with the fucking reactor and all. It's good. It's good. Very convenient for both of us, I'd say. Why was your shield regenerating? That was weird.
Too late.
Well, it showed it as if it was full. Is that? Bro, what?
Most cunning founder, with my life I protect your sacred crowns. Oh.
Power grows like a crystal, cold, in pure, perfect order.
Thanks. Appreciate it, bud. Die. 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 Where's the camera that's seeing me? That's the thing that's confusing me. Look at that. Camera all the way over there, showing that level of ground, sees me over here. So it's kind of... I wish they had a way to... And this one was, too. To make it so that you can actually see where the camera is scanning. I kind of wish that they did it like they do in Alien Isolation, where the camera displays a grid pointing in a grid over the area that it's sweeping. Just saying, I think it's a cool idea. Don't even have to make it a grid. You could make it some other cool pattern. Just, it would be very helpful, I feel like. Because otherwise, you're making it way harder on the stealth crowd. Granted, I'm sometimes part of the stealth crowd, but when I am doing stealth, I usually do a Warframe that has invisibility in the first place. I don't actually need this coolant cell, but
now is your chance to complete
you know,
this
I'll
sabotage.
take it.
You
Brady.
can to make sure it never works again.
I just need to move it away from the thing so that I don't pick it up by accident when I'm over there again. Thanks. Dumb. So what's the story behind the glass on these? I know that there is glass in the game that you can break, or at least they have, like, special interactions where you can break glass, but that one's always broken when you enter. I feel like that's a bit of an oversight. Maybe there's a bug where that glass is actually supposed to be solid, and then you can break it, but it breaks at the beginning of the mission or something. I don't know. Right, and now it's literally just a waiting game. I don't have to defend anything. I love this version. Like, there's about 3 different ways that you can do a reactor mission, and this is by far my preferred version. Because you don't have to defend shit. The only downside is that it'll spawn like magnetic anomalies, or it'll turn out the lights, which is the more common version. But if it's magnetic anomalies, you can literally just shoot them to disperse them. I didn't know that for the longest time. That magnetic anomalies can just be shot, and then they'll burst. What? That's so easy. Why have I never known that until, like, this month? Within a week of when I'm streaming this. It's crazy, it's wild, and honestly, I appreciate it. I'm a bit annoyed that I didn't know it until now, but I appreciate that I do now. Yep, like I thought. Little bit of darkness. I'm gonna open all these lockers because I still want my Iatan stars, and this is a good place to get them. Although, I bet you that if somebody were to take a chart of where the majority of my Iatan stars come from, you got it, bud. If you were to take like a graph or a chart or something that could show you, oh, where do you get all of your stars? Where's the most common location for you to receive your stars? Mine would be almost entirely within the starting area of the defense map on Sedna. I think it's Sedna. That one Grenier defense, where it's the elevator in the middle of the cargo ship. Because for some reason, that is the one place that I consistently, well, I know what the reason is. That's the place that I go for farming, and it's just like, it's tradition at this point that when you spawn in that mission, you go and you break all of the cases and open all of the lockers in that little starting room. I don't know if I'm the only one who does that, or if that's like a widespread thing, but every time. And as a result, there's a high chance that Iatan Star spawns, and I pick it up there. I fucking love this gun, dude. And not only does it do really big numbers, but it does a ton of really big numbers. So I'm just like, oh, orange, orange, yellow, yellow, yellow. Oh. And then, of course, when I get to when I use Harrow's ability that cranks up the crit chance, it goes red, 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 orange, orange, orange. It's so satisfying. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Alright, yeah, how are we doing on that next Requiem? Damn. It's not going to be complete by the time that I face her, but I have a feeling that Kra isn't her first anyway. But if it is, you know, pleasant surprise. Make my life much easier. I don't want to do a Fisher, thanks. If I'm going to do Fishers from now on, I'm probably going to do Void Storms. Because I need fucking Void keys. Corrupted Void keys. It's annoying. It's really fucking annoying, but...
Eliminate all Corpus threats.
It's what works. We're not going to talk about it. that little cluster of guys. Can you stop with this pushy laser thingy? I hate it. I kind of hate the teleporting, but I think that's actually a byproduct of the legs. Because my friend actually got, as the first hound, had those legs and it teleported. But I don't remember the other abilities, so I could be, like, misassigning that. Maybe it's actually a head thing. I don't know. I know that I think with MOAs, the precepts are all concerned with the head. But I don't know. Hounds may be different. Also, the fact that you get a hound off of every sister you killed is radical, but it's also very kind of space consuming. You see that I did it again? I reloaded incessantly. I can't stop thinking about it now. Also, where's my sister? Shouldn't she be here by now? She usually spawns very early in on the missions, but maybe this is an exterminate mission, so it doesn't read quite the same way. Big numbers. Were you unalerted? Is that what I was seeing? You were just walking around instead of coming after me. That was weird. It was interesting, but it was weird. It looked like the door sliced the osprey in half. Ooh. If it can do that to sheer metal, what can it do to flesh? I know, it didn't actually. Wait, where's the... Oh, right. You have to go through, like, the elevator. The broken elevator. Oh, no, it's not broken. I think of it as broken, though, because I think there is a map where you can get this room and the elevator is broken. I may be completely mistaken in that, though. Also, this fucking room, creepy as shit. Can I just say that? There's some weird fucking shit that goes on in this room. Like, were they dissecting a fucking Grenier? I also forgot to replace your gun. I need to do that. Like, by the way, this is Fang Prime. Or is it just regular Fang? That's just regular Fang. So, that's a 10-0 weapon, by the by. And they apparently were, I don't know, dissecting this Grenier, who doesn't actually have a face because it's not a real corpse. It's just the armor. Maybe they cut his face out. Maybe they're just... This is just the armor. The rest of the Grenier is somewhere else. It's weird shit. Anyway. Weird bit of unclear environmental storytelling. There's a room like that in a Grenier map, but it's not nearly as concerning. It's just like a locker hall. A ton of lockers and shit. Cases in it. Chests? What do they call those? Hold on, I'll take a look-see in a minute. Peace. Where are you all coming from? And why is she not spawned yet? I'm here to hunt her. What are you called? I don't know. Chest. I think that's a chest. I think that the name for that is just chest. These are corpus chests. They're Grenier chests. That's what I'm going with. stopped myself from reloading. Thank goodness. Apparently I'm hungry. I should get food. Might have to end this stream without killing the sister, because I'm never aware of the passage of time when it's actually happening. But, like, I've spent a lot of time here doing a lot of shit. I got punched through 2 shitlibs. I don't know if that's even punched through. I think that might just literally be holes in the vents. Well, on his part. On my part, it could still be punched through, because my weapon does in fact have punched through. Also, can I say, punch through is one of the least useful mechanics now. They have neutered the fuck out of it. What do I mean by that? Well, it still, like, you know, punches through things, walls and what have you. But there are enemies now with shields that can't be punched through, which was the original reason that I ever bothered with punch through. Like, why? Why? Doesn't make sense. You're negating the purpose of the effect.
Listen.
There you are. I've been looking for you. Wow, Craw's right. Awesome. Is there a chance that the rest of mine are also right?
Come closer. I have broken teeth to spit at you.
Phew. That's the most aggressive thing I've heard one of them say yet.
Let me teach you the value of breath and life.
I assume that this one's a no-go. Yep.
You have proven true, sister. A promotion is in
That's
order.
fine. Hey, and she propelled us to our next murmur. Alright, well. It was kind of wasteful, but we found out that the first one is already good, so things won't be getting much harder for us. Well, we finished a planet. Maybe that's a good establishment for the stream. Accomplishment. Excuse me. Maybe I'll stream again when I keep hunting. When I get my next one. Who knows? The majority of this stream wasn't actually about, well, we finished the hunt. I have more than enough proof to show that I've done it at least 5 times before, not including liches, just with sisters. But the importance of the stream was showing the method, the ideology behind it. Alright, Reese. I think Reese is actually a good one to choose
Riddle me out.
for my next, because I think, if I remember correctly, Reese is one that I have, I thought I had an extra copy of. Sad now. Alright. If I can choose what the next one is, I'd like for it to be Jahu. Or Zada. Zada would be, like, the ideal scenario, but I don't think I'm that lucky. In fact, I know I'm not, because I have 3 extra copies of Zada. So no, I'm not that lucky. Anyway. I think we're done here. I've been going for over 2 hours. That's a long time. So, that's that. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be back to streaming a little bit more regularly for a while, but I'm going to college again soon. So, yeah, it's weird. I complained about, oh, I went to college. I can't stream as much anymore. And then I, had the, 15 months of COVID? And did fuck all with all that time that I spent at home as far as the channel's concerned. Well, that's not entirely true. I actually cleared out a mass of videos because I wasn't happy with the content in them. Some of that does align to me just cringing at my old self and being like, I mean, I haven't changed that much as far as outward behavior goes, but there is bits and pieces. But the majority of it was some of those old streams have people saying things that I don't really want on the channel. Whether it be political things or things that break terms of service or things that legitimately just do not even remotely align with my worldview. I don't want them. I don't want my identity to be defined by things that don't correlate with who I actually am. So, I'm hoping that as I slowly, very slowly, refill the channel, it'll become a little bit more consistent with the person that I have become and the person that I want to be seen as. Sorry, I'm looking at my Parazon and I'm upset because there's a couple of mods that I have on Switch that I would love to have on PC that make me want to buy the Essential Parazon mod bundle, which I won't buy because they were so useful. There was one of them that had a 30% chance to just bypass whatever I was unlocking. God, that was such a time saver. There was another one that made me cloaked after coming out. That one was also fantastic, but I think I'd only go for the first of those because... Is that an operator armor bundle that I just saw? Or an operator armor thing that's on this yeah, Commodore Prime suit. That's a really good looking suit. But the whole set cost $60, and I already have the things that I would want out of this. That's funny, actually. It's really funny. Anyway, there's one more thing I want to look at. No. I'm wasting time. So long, farewell. I hate to say goodbye, but you will see a little bit more of me before I head on back to my